国对中国。
China has issued a stern warning to countries considering trade agreements with the United States that might undermine Beijing's economic interests. This comes amid reports that the Trump administration is planning to ramp up pressure on other nations to limit their trade with China in exchange for tariff exemptions. According to a report by AFP, China's Commerce Ministry declared on Monday that it firmly opposes any nation making trade deals with the US at Beijing's expense. The ministry spokesperson made it clear that such actions would not go unanswered. In a strongly worded statement, the spokesperson said, and I quote, "Appeasement will not bring peace and compromise will not be respected." End quote. Quoting an old Chinese proverb, the ministry added, and I quote, "To seek one's own temporary selfish interests at the expense of others' interests is to seek the skin of a tiger." End quote. The warning was not just rhetorical. China made it clear that any country cutting deals with the US that harmed Chinese interests would face, and I quote, "reciprocal countermeasures." End quote. The spokesperson emphasized that such actions would ultimately fail on both ends and harm others. This firm stance comes as the US-China trade war continues to escalate. Currently, while most nations face a 10% blanket tariff from the US, China is being hit much harder, with tariffs of up to 145% on several products. Beijing, in turn, has imposed retaliatory duties of up to 125% on American goods. Even with these steep tariffs in place, US President Donald Trump has indicated a degree of reluctance to impose further levies, citing concerns that it could hinder overall trade between the two economic superpowers. However, Trump has also claimed that Beijing is repeatedly reaching out to him in hopes of striking a deal. China, meanwhile, argues that the US tariffs go against the whole world and pose a serious threat to the rules-based multilateral trading system. Chinese officials say that the current American trade approach will only serve to destabilize global commerce. Adding to the complexity, several countries are now reportedly engaging with the US in talks aimed at lowering tariffs, some of which may come at China's cost. But Beijing's message is clear. Any nation that aligns itself with Washington in this economic tug of war should be prepared for consequences. As trade diplomacy intensifies and the world watches closely, the US-China tariff standoff appears far from over.